Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to the Fit Doc podcast with Fit Doc Michelle Reed. You want to find out about how to be healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, and sexually, and you've turned into the right spot because those are things that we are going to discuss. So we are going to talk to two experts in the field of my favorite topics, which is nutrition and exercise. Our guests are going to be Niko Kadian, who is a certified personal trainer, and Elizabeth Madison, who is a dietitian. But before we jump into that topic, question for you. Do you have your goals for 2023? If you haven't, maybe the two of them will inspire you, but I have my goals. Besides going back to being a strict pescatarian, because right now I'm a flexitarian. So if you don't know what a flexitarian is, it's like you just sort of go with the flow and you eat as you want. But don't worry, I still haven't gone back to chicken. But I want to go back to being a strict pescatarian. And the other thing is, I am going to be really serious about getting my fat back be gone. So, since you know what my goals are, I'm expecting you to hold me accountable. Let's tune in to hear from Niko and Elizabeth Madison. But before we get that, we are going to talk about a hot topic. The hot topic out now is whether or not to vaccinate or not. But right now, we have the COVID bivalent vaccine that is out. And it is very important that you go ahead and get this booster, because the booster that is out now, we say bivalent because it works on the two different types of strains that we have. There's multiple strains that are out there and substrains, but it's going to work on the Omicron strain, and it's going to work on the variants of the Omicron strain, and also a small fragment of the original COVID strain that's out there. Now, just like anything else, since it's a booster, you have to have completed your primary series already. So it's very important that COVID is still around, you get vaccinated, and of course, wear your mask, right? We have to make sure we stress that. I can't stress that enough. Another hot topic that we have out is the rainbow fentanyl. And with rainbow fentanyl, it is very potent. It looks just like candy. And we have to make sure that if you as a parent or even as a teenager or even a young child, do not take anything from anyone that you don't know. So today we're going to have two guests, Niko Kadian, who is a certified personal trainer, a fitness nutrition specialist, and someone who's traveled with me for 2 years, and we've done the Fit Doc wellness journey. And the other person is someone I met recently. She is a beautiful dietitian, and her whole program is basically faith-based, and which is something that we're going to talk about. And she really loves to motivate and encourage her patients to lose weight and be healthy along their journey. So we're going to go right into our first speaker. How are you doing, Miss Elizabeth?
Hello, Dr. Reed. How are you doing?
I am fine. So I introduced you as our faith-based dietitian. And I know, especially as a Christian, that plays a heavy role because our body is our temple. And we are supposed to do our best to make sure we take care of that temple. That's as far as rest, that's as far as exercise. And what I always like to talk about is food.
Yes, absolutely.
So now, as a faith-based dietitian, what makes you different than other people? Because I have patients that I've referred to you that they love you. And how do you start from day one when somebody says, listen, I have diabetes, I am a pre-diabetic, or I have hypertension, I have high cholesterol, or you know what, I'm just not at a healthy weight and I really want to make sure that I'm eating properly? So
Excellent question. Excellent question. Thank you very much. And there are a few things that make me actually unique to this process. This is actually my second career. My first career was in the field of clinical counseling. where I work with individuals who are recovering from a variety of addictions. And so I did that for 20 years. Now, I loved what I was doing, had my own addiction. It was food. And because of my own food addiction, I went up to 284 pounds.
Hmm.
Yes, because I was eating when I was happy, sad, lonely, as companionship when I'm watching my TV shows, and it just really spiraled out of control. And I wind up developing a lot of medical conditions. My doctor actually told me when I was 28 years old that I was going to be dead in 5 years because of the effect that the obesity was having on my heart. So I had at that point tried so many other weight loss programs, a variety of them. You name it, I tried it, and they worked for a while, but then they did not work, and the weight would come back, and it would bring friends.
Mhm.
And so what I had to do is, because I'm a Christian, I said, well, I asked God for everything else, for my finances, for school, for my marriage, for whatever, but I never asked him to help me, like, get my food together. And so I said, God, I need help getting my food together. And he was like, well, it's about time that you finally asked me, because that's what I'm here for. And over the space of 18 months of really committing myself to seeking his help, seeking his support, I went from a size 22 to a size 6. And I've been at my current weight now for almost 22 years. 2 years after I lost the weight, God put it on my heart to say, I want you to switch careers, go back to school for 4 years, become a dietitian, leave your six-figure vice president job, and go into your community and help others break free from the addictions of the diseases that are taking us out. So my story that I bring to the table really helps people connect to me, because I can say I've been there. I
Mhm.
know how hard it is. I know what it means to not be consistent. I know what it means to struggle. I know what it means to try this diet, that trend, that little fad thing, and none of it works. So for me, because I can have that compassion and that empathy, I actually start with, where are you ready to start? A lot of times people think when you go to a dietitian, oh, here's a meal plan, good luck, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. I don't do that. In fact, for some people, we don't even start with the meal plan in the first couple of weeks. We just start with your lifestyle.
Mhm.
We start talking about your relationship with food. Because if we don't talk about how you feel about food, how the other people in your life are affected by the foods that you eat or what they bring into the home, if we don't talk about, can you afford what kind of good foods, then it really doesn't matter if we just start jumping into, oh, here's a diet.
Mhm.
So that's another thing that makes me really unique. And working with people, I tell people, you're going to be with me for about a year. You're going to get support, and I'm going to hold you seriously accountable, which means that between our sessions, you're going to text me your food plan. You're going to let me know how you're doing. All right. Because people do better with structure and accountability. So
Yeah.
those are some of the things that make me different and unique.
So I'm going to ask you this question that I get, especially as a family practice physician. There are so many trends out there. So what
That's what we hear all day. Right.
what are your top 3 trends that you try to encourage your patients to avoid? Because a patient came into me yesterday and she's like, "Oh, I take AVC." I was like, "Don't tell me that's apple
Oh,
cider
cider
vinegar."
vinegar.
Yes, but the pill form, Dr. Reed, so it shouldn't be that bad. So, what are the trends that, as a whole, that we want to make sure our community, because we really care about our community, that our community tries to avoid?
Absolutely. So there are my top three are instant detoxes. Okay. When they're taking these, paying a lot of money for these detox teas and herbal supplements, and they think, I need to clean I need to clean my body out. And I'm like, what exactly are you cleaning out? Like, oh, I need to get my colon going. Well, what about the other six pieces of your detoxification process system? That's so detox, because they could do more harm than good.
Mhm.
They can destroy your gut bacteria. They can really do damage to your colon. They can mess with your kidneys. So I really steer people towards a more natural way to support your detox system. All right. Then the next one, this makes me crazy, is a gluten-free diet. Unless you have celiac disease, ulcerative colitis, you do the Crohn's, you do not need to be on a gluten-free diet. In fact, when people go on a gluten-free diet in their desire to lose weight, they wind up losing critical nutrients like fiber, because most gluten-free foods are fiber-free, and some of the B vitamins that they need for metabolism. So they're actually undermining what they're trying to do. And another thing is all things supplements. Oh, Elizabeth, I'm taking this fat burning supplement. They just took you for your money. Okay. Oh, it helps me burn fat. No, moving your body helps you burn fat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Eating well helps you burn fat. So those are my top three. And I just want to throw one more thing in there, the alkaline diet.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot change your blood pH with just drinking alkaline water. It's a whole process just to get healthier. So my whole focus when I talk to clients who do the same thing, come in with these crazy diets, is to educate them and empower them
Mm-hmm.
so they keep more money in their pockets.
So now, what are you seeing that people are really struggling with in their journey to be healthy? I know patients always say to me, well, Dr. Reed, you just told me I'm a pre-diabetic. Food is very expensive these days. And, and they might have walked into the office with like a bag of McDonald's that they didn't think that I saw, but I could smell because I got a strong nose. And, they always feel that it's cheaper to get food that doesn't cost as much, but then they realize that the food is not necessarily as healthy.
Right. So one of the things I share with them is one of the first question was, what keeps people from being able to maintain a healthy lifestyle? Two things: consistency. Well,
Mm-hmm.
three things: consistency, knowledge, and support.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because people say, "Oh, I'm not consistent. I'm not consistent," but yet they do a great job raising their kids. They're super consistent at work,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't be consistent in self care. So we need to make them aware of that. Number two is knowledge. People need to understand that yes, you can't eat healthy on a budget. I just finished doing, I have a grant through my nonprofit that teaches seniors we have it's an 8-week program that runs twice a year, and it's nutrition and it's fitness. So this past season, we did supermarket tours
Mm-hmm.
where we took the seniors up and down the aisles of a really big supermarket, and we actually shopped on a budget. And they were
Mm-hmm.
like, I didn't know I can do this. I didn't know that healthy food was not that expensive. So
Mm-hmm.
people need knowledge. And also people need support. When you fall off the wagon or you jump off the wagon, depending on, what's going on with you, you need to know that it's okay to hit the reset button.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have to hit the reset button every day. But
Yeah.
God gives us fresh mercies and grace every 24 hours. So if He allows us to reset the button, we should reset it.
And that's a key thing because sometimes we feel that, once we had a bad quote meal, that now we need to like, oh my gosh, I can't restart it. And I think that's really key to making sure that you're able to realize that every day is a new start. Every meal is a new
Absolutely.
start. And so what that you just had some fried chicken when you know you shouldn't have fried chicken because your cholesterol is high and you're on medicine for your cholesterol, but every now and then it's fine. And because I encourage people, I'd rather you have that gratification of having it than depriving yourself of it. And that way you'll feel more satisfied about what you're doing. And then you also realize, like, you know what, I ate this, I feel this way, and maybe I shouldn't have eaten it, but I did, I enjoyed it. I know next time maybe I'll have a less amount of it. But I think that's also key, realizing that you can always reset. So, as we start to wrap up our segment, my question to you is, what are the top 3 things or tips for people who want to have a healthier lifestyle?
Okay, so first, get support. I know I keep saying it over and over again. This wellness journey, this weight loss journey is too hard to do by yourself because isn't it interesting how every time we make a commitment to do good,
Mm-hmm.
we would get distracted and all these things get in the way. So get support. Whatever kind of support is, get into a group, get a dietitian that can hold you accountable, get an accountability partner, but get somebody who is like-minded and who will hold your feet to the fire, who will not let you, shimmy away from, oh yeah, I didn't get a chance to do it. Well, why not? Let's get it going. Let's go. And so that support is absolutely essential. And have a plan. You need a plan of eating. It doesn't mean you have to be slaving over a stove for an hour. It
Mm-hmm.
just means you need to have a plan, need to think downstream. What am I putting in my body today?
Mm-hmm.
When we plan, we succeed. When we plan, we're less likely to make that left turn into what's that place? Sonic. Okay. All right. And also giving yourself grace. Don't make a lot of changes all at once. So for example, if you're someone who loves fried foods, doesn't drink enough water, doesn't exercise, doesn't plan their meals, pick one of those things to work on. Become competent in that, give yourself a month, and then let's take on the next task. That way you develop a sense of a win. You develop more wins. You feel a sense of control and confidence, which allows you to continue on. So those are the three things I really oh, one more thing is that all foods fall into three categories: everyday foods, sometimes foods, and occasional foods. Fried chicken is an occasional food. Fruits and vegetables and whole grains are everyday foods. So if we can see it like that, then people won't feel restricted and they feel like they can do this wellness journey for the long term, for the marathon.
Oh, now before we close, question. How much water do you encourage people to drink?
So last night, it was funny. Last night, I was hired by Rochester Village to do a virtual workshop. And one of the topics that we did last night was detox, fact or fiction.
Mhm,
And I said the number one way to support your detox system is to drink water.
mhm.
You literally cannot do anything better than that. The first step is to drink more water. And so I give a formula, right? So basically, you want to drink ideally half your body weight in water in ounces. So if
Mhm.
you're 200 pounds, you want to drink about 100 ounces. Now, Dr. Reed, people fall on the floor when I tell them that, all right, because they're barely getting in, two of these, right? So I'll say, whatever you're doing right now, if you're drinking the equivalent of 2 bottles of water, add one more. Fit that in, make it comfortable, then add another one until you can get to the point where you are optimally hydrated.
All right, perfect. So I'm on the right trail when I'm telling people to drink water. And I normally say, you know what, try to have 8 to 10 glasses of
Yes.
water
Mm-hmm.
before and after each meal. And then that's when they drop on the floor. Now, think about it. If you are having a glass of wine, how much wine are you having? Or if you're having some other alcoholic beverage. Dr. Reed, why'd you have to go there? But I am glad that we went there today, Miss Elizabeth. And we are going to make sure that everybody knows how to reach you
Yes.
in the future so that way they can use you, because everybody needs to be hooked up with a registered dietitian so that way they can maintain a healthy food journey and a healthy fit journey and a healthy lifestyle. So
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me on your podcast. This is so necessary. The community needs to hear from qualified healthcare providers who walk the walk, who
yeah.
talk the talk and walk the walk. I see you on Facebook all the time. You are like ultimately amazing. I'm like, my goodness. Ugh. I mean, you are like just I just like following you because you're awesome. And so again, thank you for inviting me onto the show. And I wish you much success and many blessings.
Thank you. And same to you, Miss Elizabeth.
Take care.
Back by popular demand, because you, the audience, have said how much you like to hear about what my life is once I leave the office or when I'm not touring and during guest speaking somewhere or exercising out and going live. So, this segment is my favorite, and it's called In Real Life because we're talking about what my life is like. My husband, he's a little camera shy, but he called me a control freak the other day. Can you believe it? Oh, some of you probably do. That's funny. But he called me a control freak. And you know why? Because I say that it's important for us to be healthy as I'm talking to my patients. And I'm doing my best to make sure I'm living that type of life. But I'm expecting my family to be along for this journey with me, this Fit Doc journey. I came home the other day. Two things that I found. One was some frosted flakes that my son was getting ready to eat. He knows that we don't have that in the house. That's not healthy. So, you know what? He has his license, so maybe he went on his own. He doesn't have a job, so that was with our money. So that box was thrown away. I didn't throw it away. They knew to throw it away. I'm pretty sure it's thrown away. But the other thing that happened was I normally don't go into the freezer, but I went into the freezer looking for something. I found a pack of Oreos in the freezer. I know who the culprit is. You probably know the culprit too because, like I said, they're camera shy. That particular person should not be eating any Oreos. I personally threw those in the garbage. But like I said, this is in real life. Call me a control freak, but guess what? I'm a healthy control freak who wants everybody in their life to be healthy. Tune in for your next In Real Life with Dr. Michelle Reed. I am so excited about my next guest. Niko Kadian. And Niko Kadian, he's, like I said earlier, he is a fitness trainer extraordinaire. And I really enjoyed working with him over the past couple of years. I've met him at a women's retreat, and during that time, we bonded and we've worked together ever since. And it's been a very interesting journey with him. And as we're waiting for him to log on, what we're going to talk about is food and some of the foods that we didn't cover, which are foods that are very important for your weight loss journey. And my favorite is asparagus. Asparagus is so full of fiber. And as of course, when you eat fiber, just like Elizabeth said, when you eat fiber, you have a tendency, of course, to feel full. And when you feel full, you're less likely to eat a lot. So it's very key that you have fiber in your intake. And so asparagus is known as one of those foods that you eat it, you have a tendency to lose weight. And I think that is key. So have more asparagus, which will help to lose weight. At the same point, spirulina. Spirulina is something that we don't really talk about a lot, but spirulina is also known as an appetite suppressant. Very key because it's a natural supplement that you could use, and that it helps to make sure that you don't have those food cravings like, I want to eat, I want to eat, I want to eat. So when you have add spirulina, that helps with that. And another thing, which is my favorite, is salmon. Salmon is so beneficial to our nutritional intake because it is high in those omega-3 fatty acids. It helps to boost your good cholesterol. And as you know, your good cholesterol is what takes all of that fat out of your arteries to get processed by the body. And we always want your good cholesterol to be high, greater than 50. People always think like, oh, exercise is the only way of boosting up my good cholesterol. Exercise is one way, but having salmon, avocados, almonds, that's another way to increase your good cholesterol. So I think I see that Niko is in the building finally.
Oh man, I miss you. What's going on?
I miss you more.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Oh my gosh. I was like, where is my Niko?
I'm gonna be here. I'm here. God. You know what I did? I just did like extra 10 push-ups a while ago. I'm in the gym. All right. I'm in my gym right now, and I said I gotta get this spot. I gotta make sure to take care of my doctor, my favorite doctor. Okay.
Yes. Because your favorite doctor was getting ready to drive in the car and go and look for you.
Whenever you call, just to let people know, whenever you ask for anything from me, man, I don't even second guess it. I don't even know what the projects might be, what the different scenarios might be. I just say yes. When it comes to you, it's just like we have such a relationship and we have built such a rapport over the years where I just respect you and love what you're doing. So just want to get that out of the way, okay? Just want to get that out of the way.
Well, I love what you're doing. So the project for 2023 is to make sure that these abs are really popping, okay? So I don't want to hear any ifs, ands, or buts about that.
I got you. You know, you're on my list. You're on the top of my list. So,
So now, since we're talking about abs, I know everyone always say abs are made in the kitchen.
Yes.
And you have some extremely popping abs.
Yeah.
So what do you say to someone who says, you know what, I want to work with Niko because I want to make sure my body looks like Niko's? How do you start?
I think, you got to take everything in strides, right? So it's not just about doing crunches. It's all about it's really starting in the kitchen, as we all know. But it's cardio. Cardio, a lot of people don't realize that if you want to get like a flat stomach, okay, you gotta shred. How you gonna shred the fat? You're gonna get into a fat burning zone. You gotta do your cardio, like maybe not just like a steady pace cardio like on the elliptical or treadmill, but you gotta do hit movements, hit anything that gets your heart rate up to a point where you can burn extra calories. All right, the crunches, the planks, and all those stuff are what fine tunes you getting those 4, 6, 1 pack, whatever you want to call it, 8 pack. So it's a system to it. It's just like it just don't happen overnight by doing a million crunches. No, okay. Because we all have abs. We all have abs, but it might get underneath like different layers of adipose, fat cells and all those different things above, right? So we all have abs.
Now, I hear that you're in a gym right now.
Yes.
I can hear it in the background. So gyms can be very intimidating for some people. Like me personally, I think we have a membership to, I don't want to say which gym. For the past couple of years, I've been to the gym 4 times. And one of them was to work out. The other 3 were to get smoothies from the smoothie stuff, from the smoothie booth. But I mean, I know all the equipment, but for some reason, it's like when I go to the gym, it's like I think I'd rather be outdoors than being around a bunch of people. And I've been like that always for years. So when people walk in the door and they say, okay, you know what, I really want to work out, but I feel intimidated by the whole atmosphere, how do you sort of ease that? Or how do you like say, okay, maybe you shouldn't go to the gym. Maybe I can come to you. Maybe we can do virtually. Like, what do you do when somebody feels that way?
Great question, because I see it personally and I experience it personally with a lot of people. They come in for the first time. Are they very intimidated because they see all these fits and they see all this stuff going on in gyms. So they even scared to even ask questions. But I think it comes down to meeting the right trainer, meeting the right person who can guide you and say, hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's the first time. Me, you, we're going to walk this through. And you got to basically encourage them to the point where, listen, it's okay. I was there once. Everyone that you see in the gym right now was at the point where they felt some type of intimidation from walking into a place, an establishment that have a lot of people that have been doing it before them, right? So yes, we could start virtual. If a person never worked out before, I would not really suggest virtual, because you need to be around a person to, the different cues, the different, to tweak certain movement with them, right? So I'd rather have them in person, so we can build a rapport, we can vibes, and they can get confident. So that's the thing with it. And outdoor, yes, you can go outdoor. If the weather is nice, why not go outdoor? Take some bands, body weight exercises, because remember, you're just starting out. So body weight exercises and band work are like very nice ways to get people into it, especially females. Because females always say, hey, I don't want to get bulky. I don't want to lift my weights. I don't want to get bulky, which is something you hear every day. I hear it so often in my practice over the last 15 plus years. So intimidation is common. It's common, and I will tell people, listen, it's okay if you want to feel intimidated. It's part of the body's natural reaction to something new. And it's like you stepping out of your comfort zone into something that is unknown. It's just the way the body works, okay? And that's the way a natural, instinct from anyone. So that's what I would tell people. It's okay. It's okay to feel intimidated, but you just got to be around the right crowd, the right personnel to actually guide you in the direction for you to gain a level of confidence to move forward.
Okay. And now, what are some of the workout trends? Because you're in the gym, and I mean, especially with social media, I'm seeing some crazy workouts that are going on, and people are actually getting hurt doing them because they think that, in real life, I should be doing this. So what are some of the trends that you are seeing in the gym that you would really encourage your clients and just the regular person just to try and avoid before, actually really continuing on their journey?
I'm happy you touched that, because I talked to it with my other trainer friends and like clients of my own. And not everything you see on social media is real. Like they all talk about reality versus social media. It's really a thing, even in the fitness industry. So not everything that look cool makes sense. Okay, a lot of people do cool stuff from a exercise standpoint, just for the hype and to get like a lot of play from like a lot of views and stuff like that. But I would tell people, stick to the basic. if you know your goal is to get stronger in your upper body and stuff, you need to learn the basics first, because if you don't learn the basics, you're gonna end up hurting yourself, and then that's gonna set you back like 3 6 months, even a year,
Mhm.
from reaching your fitness goal that you set for yourself at the start of the year, or whenever people set fitness goal for themselves. So I will tell people, listen, you know, stick to the basic. Know proper ways to do a proper squat, push-ups, whether it's from the knees, or full body exercises. You have to know the basics before you can even go to the advanced. So it's all about, you gotta have the beginner version, you have the intermediate, and then you have the advanced versions. Okay, so these are the different levels at which you need to try to attain before you can try anything funky. All right, but not everything that you see, is meant for you. For me personally, I think I'm very advanced in a lot of things, right? But
Oh yeah, you are.
okay, all right, right. Just you know the vibe. I think I stay in my lane. I tell people, listen, I stay in my lane. Okay, I'm not gonna try that stuff because I see another guy doing it, another female doing it. Nope, I'm not gonna do it at all. I know my do's and don'ts. I know my strengths and weaknesses, and I'm not gonna try to just look extra cool for likes or views on a social media platform when it doesn't benefit my body,
Mhm.
and it doesn't benefit my fitness goal.
Mhm.
So so people need to understand what their goals are. Stick to that. All right. Anything out of the norm, try to avoid it, because that's when people get hurt. Trying all these funky stuff that make no sense and is not going to be beneficial at all to your body. Uh,
Well, I was gonna say with you, you make exercising fun. Because
yeah,
the 2 years that we went to Jamaica for the Fit Dog Wellness Retreat, I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, when are we gonna do it again?" Like, Niko is so much on point. Like, and I was thinking, okay, people are gonna have problems waking up like 6 o'clock in the morning to meet you out on the beach, but like people were there before we were there.
I
Like,
know.
you buy something like ready to work out.
I
So
know. And for me, before you even finish, I'm going to piggyback off that bit. I know you have to say something, but um, with Jamaica, the whole Jamaica vibes, it's beautiful. The first year, I mean, for everyone who was listening, the first year, I was the only guy that was on. Your husband was not even there. And I mean, and I'm like, oh my God. I said, Dr. Michelle, she could have got a female trainer, but because of my energy that I had at the Odyssey retreat that I met you at, right?
yeah.
Where you like the way in which my boot camp and my partner at the time, Hollywood, was
Mhm.
boot camp, and you like my energy. And you say, you know what? I'm gonna bring this guy on because he's gonna make it fun. And I tell you what, man, it's all about your energy. Personality goes a long way. It's one thing to be knowledgeable in any field, okay? Because we all selling the same thing.
Mhm.
But why people going to come back to me, why people want to take my classes, is because you have to have that vibe. Because the last thing people want to do is come to a class and they just be bored out of the mind.
Mhm.
No, bring your energy there. Be fun, be funny. Just act stupid sometimes, but at the same time doing all those stuff, you better be able to bring the material, bring constructive workout to everyone.
Mhm.
Know each person at a time, because everyone is on different fitness levels, right?
True.
So and I can't train everyone like the way I train myself. So some people get intimidated by working with me because
Mhm.
it's, oh, I see your videos on social media. Oh my God, I can't do all those stuff. And the first thing I tell people, listen, I gear workouts towards people and what
Mhm.
their goals are. And what God is so good to me that I am very fast at coming up with things on the spot based on what I have available in front of me.
Mhm.
So these are some cool stuff, man. And in the retreat, people get up. You're right. They're out the beach. They did the meditation portion. Then they're at the beach, ready for Niko's killer boot camp. And then they know I'm gonna whoop their ass, but they still show up because they want the energy to set their day for the rest of everything that you had planned and line up with all the other professionals that you had on your roster. So
Yes. Well, Niko, we could go on and on, but I'm going to just wrap it up
yeah,
because you bring the energy. If someone is having a bad day and they don't feel like working out, you know how to like really get them involved where they can totally forget, because emotion does play a
yeah,
strong role in about how you feel and how you feel about what you want to do for the day. And I really appreciate the energy. I look forward to our continued relationship
me too.
about being together. And yes, You were the one man that we needed and that everybody enjoyed at that point in time. And I appreciate you for being a part of my life,
I
Niko.
appreciate it. But before I go, I just want to say also that when it comes to workout, guys, it's not every day you're going to want to feel like you want to work out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you only work out on days that you feel like you want to work out, that is going to be a problem. So, the takeaway that I want you guys to have right here, man, you have to be disciplined. You hold yourself accountable, because when you hold yourself accountable, that's like a gateway into the right path of where you want to go. Okay, and when you get there, just be consistent, because consistency breeds results. Okay, with consistency, results and all those stuff will come in its own path. So I'm just so happy that you actually allow me to be here, and whenever you call, I'm going to be running. Maybe I'm not going to just walk. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Niko. And we're going to make sure everybody knows how to get in contact with you, with me being at the top of the list still, of course.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Niko. So, Fit Family, I hope that you enjoyed our podcast today. You heard from Elizabeth Madison, Niko Kadian. Both of them talked about basically being consistent, being accountable, having that support system that you need in the education, whether we're talking about fitness, whether we're talking about nutrition, it is key. It's not always about losing weight. It's about having a healthy lifestyle, having your body in the optimum shape possible, because there are so many things that are out there as far as diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, and our body still needs to be strong to fight the viruses that are coming and going. Right now, we're dealing with COVID, RSV, and the flu. But our goal as overall is to live a healthy lifestyle. And we want you to be fit and strong emotionally and physically, because there's a lot to do for us in 2023. So I want you to start 2023 feeling strong, looking good, living your best life, and tune in next time to hear what we're going to talk about in order to stay mentally fit and physically strong. And don't forget to make a comment, share our podcast with your friends, family, co-workers, anyone who you want to inspire in their life.